Alright guys, today we're going to talk about Fate Grand Order. First and foremost, this does assume that you're at least familiar with what's going on in the original Fate. Now I'm sure you may have crossed paths with the anime known as Fate Apocrypha. Here's the thing, Apocrypha was originally supposed to be an online RPG, but somewhere down the line, Type Moon decided to toss the idea for the product we have today. What you see in Grand Order is a reboot of that very same project. In 2015, Type Moon collaborated with Delightworks to bring a mobile experience that would ruin the pockets of Fate fans forever. But before we kick this story off, we should probably get to know the main cast. Now if you take a look to your right, you'll see generic protagonists 1 and 2. That's you, Ritsuka Fujimaru. You pick a character based on your preference and you keep it moving, fam. Next we have Mashu, who is your first friend, her pet foe, Roman, who's the head doctor, Lev Laner, who's a technician, and Olga, who is the main dame in charge. The story takes place in 2015 and you as the player have been brought to a secret agency known as Chaldea. Their main goal is pretty simple. If humanity is on the verge of becoming extinct, they're the ones that step in to make sure that doesn't happen. With that being said, Chaldea picked 48 candidates that would soon risk their lives for this campaign. And as you may have guessed by now, you're one of them. Congratulations. So here's the rundown. Chaldea's technology is so advanced that it's allowed them to see 100 years into the future. And let me tell you, it's not looking good. Don't believe me? Fine. Take a look at this globe. It's basically a replica of Earth. As long as the light glows like this, everything's all good. But as of 6 months ago, it's getting more and more difficult to see what's going on. Based on their recent information, humanity is going to become extinct in just a few years. Wonderful. So the organization decided to take a look into the past, and when they did this, they found an event in the timeline that wasn't supposed to be there. These are called singularities, and since they ruined said timeline, it's our job to get rid of them. This is where the candidates come in. All of these people were chosen because they meet the criteria to travel back into the past. It's official. The First Order is now in motion. The mission is then labeled Singularity F, and the destination is set to 2004 Fuyuki, Japan. This is also around the same time that the Grail War took place in Fate Stay Night. When the candidates were about to make this time jump, an explosion went off in the command room. This left every candidate in critical condition except the player, who happened to be in the infirmary with Dr. Roman. So the player goes to the command room to see if Mash is okay, and due to him being the only qualifying master in the room, him, Mash, and Foe all get transferred to Fuyuki. Yo, Dr. Roman, can you see us? Oh my god. What's wrong, Roman? Mash, you are looking hella thick in that outfit right now. Roman! What? At this point, you find out that Mash was at Chaldea 2 years prior to the candidates, and that she's actually an experiment between human and servant, or more specifically, a demi-servant. The spirit she fused with is Sir Galahad, and she falls under a brand new class called the Shielder. You also meet up with Olga and find out that she got transferred too. It is a nightmare. The entire city is ruined, there's no sign of a human, and these Skeletor looking motherfuckers keep attacking me, man. Eventually the crew runs into Medusa, but they realize that something's different. Not only is she corrupted, but she's been resummoned as a shadow servant under the Lancer class. When they get rid of her, Hassan of the Cursed Arm and Benkei take her place. Mash is doing her best to fend them off, but having all these back-to-back battles are starting to get the best of her. No worries though, cause this is when my boy Cucullin shows up and gets rid of both servants in her stead. Wait, how come you're not a shadow servant? Me? Get corrupted? You must not know who I am. He then goes on to explain that Saber Alter is the one prolonging the singularity. She managed to defeat every servant in the war except Ku, and she's currently guarding the Greater Grail to maintain this era for personal reasons. Each servant she corrupted is now under her control, and their main task is to get rid of anything that might cause interference. This is why they kept attacking the squad. The crew then sets out to the cavern where Saber's located, only to find that Emiya is the gatekeeper to the entrance. Ku makes quick work of him. Then they go against Saber Alter, where Mashu learns how to utilize her phantasm for the first time. After beating her, they find out who's really behind this. Lev Laner, the same technician who was supposed to be working for Caldia. It was an inside job the whole time. The explosion at Caldia was actually a bomb he planted under Olga's feet. This is when Olga starts to have a nervous breakdown. See, throughout the entire mission, Olga comes off a bit annoying, to say the least. She comes from a background of first-rate mages, but she's no first-rate mage. In fact, she can't even become a master. She's only director because her father passed away, and it left her in a position where she had to take his place. So she puts on a facade of being pretentious and cold-hearted, but she's really just afraid and doesn't know how to handle these situations. And it turns out, her body got caught in the explosion back at Caldia. So whether she returns to the present or not, her life is already over because her conscience has no place to go back to. And another thing, that globe at Caldia isn't just a projection, it's a collection of data that carries properties of a sun. By using the power of the Holy Grail, Lev was able to connect the actual timeline to the singularity and obliterate Olga into nothing. Ruthless. Even though Olga looked up to Lev for guidance and relied on him when she needed help the most, he still sent that bitch to the nether realm. I respect it. He also gave a grail to Saber prior to this event, but since she went off and did her own thing, it ended up being a waste of his time. And it doesn't end there. Stopping the singularity changes nothing because things have only gotten worse. See, Caldia had the wrong idea. The world isn't on the path to destruction, it's already been destroyed. Right now, Caldia is the only place that exists in the current timeline, and that's only due to a barrier that surrounds the building. The stakes have been raised, people. With Olga biting the dust, Roman is now the new director of Caldia, and the status on their mission has changed from First Order to Grand Order, hence the title. Now you as the player must go back in time and remove the new singularities to get humanity back on track. And you only have a few years to do it. But no pressure. By the way, the summoning system is different from what we saw in Stay Night. It's only a replication, which means you're gonna see some servants who normally couldn't be summoned. Fully divine spirits like Artemis, fictional characters like Edmond Dantes and Sherlock Holmes, or even artists like Leonardo da Vinci, who runs the shop at Caldia. And yes, surprise, surprise, he's a bitch. Wanna know why everybody is gender bent in Fate? Because people buy and pussy sells. It's fucking genius. Why did I think of this? Anyways, you get the idea. Since these singularities deal with some of the greatest turning points in human history, Caldia is gonna need all the help they can get. Now what are you waiting for? Get out there and do your damn job. I'm not paying you for nothing. Wait, what? Oh, we're not paying them? Do it anyway. That about wraps it up. If you enjoyed the video, please like it up so we can get this trending. Feel free to add information as you see fit, and let me know what you guys think about it. It's your boy Tsiah. I'm out. 901 Shelby Drive, look alive.